How's it going, traders? Been a while since I've done a recap here, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm fumbling around or being awkward. Anyways, today I traded two tickers, FDX and ITCI. The market opened up in a range. I didn't really like the way the SPY had come up on the daily. I didn't think we were going to break out of yesterday's high. Probably going to be an inside day based on the light volume and the holidays and tomorrow being a half day. So got to the stations at around 9:45ish. Lately I've been missing the open on purpose just because I want to see if I trade better after 9:45, after the first 15-minute candle is put in and a direction has been established. So anyways, I took FDX on this little flag type of formation here. As you can see, it kept getting bought up the VWAP. Nice big wicks telling me that buyers were still here. The thing that made this really interesting was that on the daily, I was telling Jeff that we might get a continuation, right? So big gap down, earnings, poor earnings, or whatever it was, and then we started forming kind of this consolidation bear flag formation. And anyone who shorted it yesterday, their stop would have to be here, right, for the pattern to continue. So when I opened it up this morning and saw, okay, we obviously those people are stopping out, we're probably going to have room to run. If not to here, then probably back to the high of the big gap down day, right? So anyways, that was the play. I got in, and I didn't really like how it was moving. There was volume when it came in here, but it just used up so much of my buying power, and it was not moving at the pace I wanted it to. My first target was actually here. I think that level there would have been, I think, a little bit over 2-to-1, and with the initial or the final target here. So anyways, it started moving up and it started coming back, and I was like, my buying power is being consumed. This is what happens when you trade expensive stocks, right? My stop was something like 35 cents, and it's a $150 stock, so it consumed quite a bit of my buying power. I didn't want to miss out on other moves that were taking shape, LK and WDC, Tesla, whatever, all these other things that were moving. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to bail to break even. I was in the trade for 9 minutes here, as you can see. What did it end up doing though? It actually came up, and lo and behold, came up to this level, rejected it twice off the double top, and kind of faded off into the day. So these levels, if you draw them right, guys, really clear areas that you can take profit, that you can enter off of. I mean, even this, I don't even know where I got this one from. The entry from low of the day, well, it was high yesterday. Pretty clear, right? If the people who are stopping out, they're going to have to cover, which drives the move up, right? Anyways, that was FDX. And then ITCI. So before we actually get into the trade, let me show you guys what I found on the daily, right? So ITCI, this is my mistake. We had to go pretty far back to find some areas. Now, there's the gap entry, which is here. There's the top of this kind of shoulder here. It shows up as a small pivot on the weekly, and then we had 45 up top. Now I drew a level here at 37.87, which came back here, which was my mistake. This is coming too far back. Once you enter the gap, I think, in my opinion, there's no reason to go back here, right? I'm of the belief that you go as far back as you need to. Once you start going further back than that, then, you know, like, is this a level, and all this other stuff. If these levels were to be respected, then they would have formed price action closer to the present, right? If they were relevant, then they would have formed price action closer. So I drew that. That's my bad, and that we'll see later how that messed me up. But this was probably the area we were going to come to, 42.30. As you can see, all these overlapping bars. I like to draw my levels off pivots or consolidation areas where there's overlapping bars, because that means a lot of action happened here. There's a lot of trades taking place, indecision. There's a struggle, right? So that consolidation point. Anyways, so ITCI. Basically, I didn't even have it on watch. My friend started calling it out at, I want to say, 10:10 or 10:15 or something like that. Let's get a little bit closer here. So obviously a huge move up once it broke out of these areas and ran up something in the order of $10 or more, right? And then it started coming back and retracing. So I measured the retracement here. This was a very bullish, it's only about say 35% retracement, which is what you want to see, 35-40% for momentum stocks. 50 for your average stock, and 60 is as deep as you want to go. And I started to see it coming back, right, pulling in here. So I zoomed in on the smaller time frame, and you know where I had 30.97. Is that even a level? Probably not. That's just this area here. So when I saw it come down and get bought up here, I was like, okay, that's interesting, right? Obviously, someone likes that price. We started coming back down here. I think the 1 minute chart might show a little bit better here. We started coming back down, and I saw that same type of action. This wick. Again, I'm not just trading in a vacuum here. I'm not going long on every single wick you see, right? But this is a level of interest. And then when I saw it come back down, and it wanted to come back to test $31, right? I said, okay, well, if it comes back to test this $31 area, and loses it, then obviously a lot of people are going to stop out here. So I you know, based off the price action, I went long right here, right at the area, and I put my stop below the whole number. So my stop was about 50 cents. My entry here was, I think, 31.49ish. Yeah, 31.49. So I had a 50-cent stop, which is really good because my target was going to be this area, high of the day, right? That's what, and that would have been about a 4.5, 5 to 1 area, whatever. And I was going to take a partial there, hoping to get to this 37.87 that I thought was going to be, you know, it would have been a pretty big move up from where we'd started the day. Anyways, we go off, and I get my first partial there, 5 to 1, and then we really just start trending here, right? Let's go to the 2-minute chart, which is what I trade off normally. We really started trending here, and I saw this pullback here. This was beautiful, guys. This is a high of the day retest. You see that? 4-minute resistance becomes new support, and that is a perfect buy setup, right? Nice shallow retracement to the moving average, nice narrow body bars, nothing crazy, no wicks, no indication that buyers got trapped or faked out, and I wanted to add there, but I hesitated, and this thing was moving so fast. Look at the volume just come in. It's just gone. By the time I decided that I probably should add, the entry wasn't there anymore. So I wanted to do an add and reduce, basically add here and bring my stop to here, and my break even would probably still, or my average cost would probably still be in the green, right? And that's what I've been trying to do, is to let my winners really count to what we call add and reduce, or pyramid, right? And then you can just kind of free roll your gains into larger gains. Anyways, so then we got to about a 10R area here. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna take some more off. 10Rs, it's no joke here, right? We're going higher. And then finally 12Rs is where I took the rest off at 38. And I did not expect this move. This was a power surge. This was what we call climactic, right? The volume was really, really poor in here. And in this one single bar before the halt, we ran up, I believe, I'll say $5 or so, right? And I was already out of the move, and then we got halted. So this happened. This was the true area, 42.30. You guys remember where we got that from, right? On the daily here. That was the true target. Had I drawn my levels correctly, it was this consolidation zone. But not a big deal. Anyways, caught the move there. That was about 8.25 Rs with all the partial and all that stuff. And when we came out of the halt, I told myself, okay, if this thing didn't get halted, would I short this? I probably would, right? You guys, if you've seen me trade before, I'd like to trade climactics. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, there's a lot of people who took this run up on the first sign of weakness. They're probably going to get shaken out because they have really poor entries, right, in the 40s. And all the people who were in long here, they're going to start taking profit at the first sign of weakness. It's a big move, right? People want to go home on a light day. So I shorted it as soon as it broke the 5-minute low here. My entry was 41.75. I really wish I had a better entry. You know, this area was so crazy. Right when we came out of the halt, the spread was 30-40 cents at times. So I shorted there. I put my stop high the day. I said, okay, we should be able to survive a retest of this 42.30 area. So I didn't get rattled out here. And then we started coming down. I said, okay, this is great. We're pulling in. I was looking for a kind of a climactic waterfall drop because of, you know, my idea that a lot of people were trapped long. But we came back up, and I was like, this hammer kind of, it was a hammer, and we made a new 5-minute high. So, okay, you know what? I don't want to screw up my day. I had a pretty good day so far. I'm just going to get out at break even. And, you know, the trade ended up working. It ended up fading for a pretty big move here. But my stop and my entry, it was just not that great. And, you know, getting into the lunch hour here, so I just bailed. But there are other people who caught this move. So Lance, I think he's doing a recap here as well. He caught this huge move, very tight stop, and held on like a champ, just sitting there waiting for the snipe entry, right? Anyways, that's basically the day. Those are the two trades, keeping it nice and simple. And thank you guys for watching. Well, happy holidays.